Hello to all USA trending news readers. Welcome to the live broadcast of the Houston Rockets vs. Golden State Warriors game, part of the 2025 NBA Cup Group Stage. The game will take place at the Chase Center at 11 p.m. My name is Carlos, and I'll be your host for this game. We'll bring you pre-game analysis, score updates, and live news right here on VolumSTRANGER. Last matchup. The last time the Golden State Warriors and Houston Rockets faced off was last season when Golden State secured a 110-104 road victory, thanks to a double-double from Steph Curry and a strong performance from Klay Thompson. The preview. Today we have a very interesting game between the Houston Rockets and the Golden State Warriors in Chase Center, with both teams looking for a win to continue their strong run in the 2025-2026 NBA regular season. Let's get started. We're just under an hour away from the game between the Houston Rockets and the Golden State Warriors at the Chase Center. Both teams will be looking for the win. Who will come out on top this time? Follow our coverage on VolumSTRANGER. Stay tuned to follow the Houston Rockets vs. Golden State Warriors game live from the 2025 NBA Cup Group Stage. In just a few moments, we'll share the starting lineups for the Houston Rockets vs. Golden State Warriors game, which corresponds to the 2025 NBA Cup Group Stage, along with the latest information coming from Chase Center. Don't miss a single detail of the game with VolumSTRANGER's live minute-by-minute coverage. What time is the Houston Rockets vs. Golden State Warriors game in the 2025 NBA Cup? Here are the start times for the Houston Rockets vs. Golden State Warriors game on November 26, 2025, in various countries. Argentina, 12 a.m. on NBA League Pass. Bolivia, 11 p.m. on NBA League Pass. Brazil, 12 a.m. on NBA League Pass. Chile, 12 a.m. on NBA League Pass. Colombia, 10 p.m. on NBA League Pass. Ecuador, 10 p.m. on NBA League Pass. USA, ET 11 p.m. on NBA TV. Spain, 4 a.m. on NBA League Pass. Mexico, 9 p.m. on NBA TV and NBA League Pass. Paraguay, 12 a.m. on NBA League Pass. Peru, 10 p.m. on NBA League Pass. Uruguay, 12 a.m. on NBA League Pass. Venezuela, 9 p.m. on NBA League Pass. If you want to watch it online, VolumSTRANGER is your best option. Houston Rockets absences. These are the players currently on the team's injured list. Fred VanVleet, ACL. The Houston Rockets have several key players available on their roster and are working on a significant rotation to avoid injuries. Additional absences could be announced for the game up until the last minute. Kevin Durant, the Rockets player to watch. The Houston shooting guard is on fire, averaging 20.2 points, 5.3 rebounds, and 12.3 assists per game, making him the team's leading scorer and assist man. Tyrese is one of the Rockets' most important players and finished last season as the league's leading assist man, earning him an All-Star selection. Durant has shown he can be a master of offensive playmaking, and many teams have expressed interest in him, which could lead to a trade to a championship contender. Since his arrival, the shooting guard hasn't disappointed and has taken on the role of team leader. Now, alongside Alperen Sengun, they'll be looking for their first NBA title. Houston Rockets, on to racking up wins. The Houston team continues its journey this season after missing the Western Conference playoffs last year with a roster full of young prospects. The Rockets finished with a 31-51 record, placing them 12th in the West and out of contention for a playoff berth. This season, they are placing significant faith in last season's roster and hope to have a healthy team that can shine throughout the year, with the goal of continuing to build a competitive roster for the future. One of the key questions this season is the future of Amen Thompson and Alperen Sengun, and whether both players will remain essential to the project. The Rockets boast a roster with intriguing names such as Kevin Durant, Alperen Sengun, Fred VanVleet, Dillon Brooks, Aaron Holiday, Amen Thompson, Jeff Green, and Steven Adams. The Rockets' goal is to fight to be among the best in the Western Conference and qualify for the playoffs to see what this group is capable of. Golden State Warriors absences. These are the players on the team's injured list. None. Despite not having any seriously injured players, the Golden State Warriors have some doubts about the availability of certain players, who will be announced for the game at the last minute. Stephen Curry, the Golden State Warriors player to watch. The Golden State point guard is the Warriors' biggest star, finishing the season as the team's offensive leader with averages of 25.5 points, 5.2 rebounds, and 6.3 assists per game. Now, Curry will begin a new season with the Warriors with less pressure regarding the three-point record and with the goal of leading the team to another playoff berth. Curry will look to take advantage of the Warriors' revamped roster and complement Jimmy Butler's game so that Golden State can once again contend for the NBA title. The biggest expectation for the Warriors star is a healthy season filled with three-pointers to create a very exciting style of play. Golden State Warriors, looking to return to the playoffs. The Golden State Warriors begin a new season with a complete roster overhaul to face a new challenge in the league. Despite this, the team, coached by Steve Kerr, made the playoffs last season, where they were eliminated by the Timberwolves. The Warriors finished the season in 5th place with a record of 48 wins and 34 losses. The Golden State roster is still being rebuilt in hopes that with stars like Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, Buddy Hield, Brandon Podziemski, Andrew Wiggins, Seth Curry, Jimmy Butler, Alabama Horford, and Kevin Looney, they can fight for a postseason spot and showcase the team's progress. The search for a new style of play, characterized by its emphasis on long-range shooting, is a priority, so the arrival of players like Seth and Horford will be closely watched by fans, and the pressure to achieve their goals will be intense. Golden State's goal is to be an uncomfortable team to play against during the season and pull off surprising victories against more powerful rivals. Where is the game? The Chase Center in San Francisco will host this group stage matchup between two teams looking to continue their preparations for the 2025-2026 NBA season in their respective conferences. This arena has a capacity of 18,300 fans and was inaugurated in. Warriors appeared. The Golden State team arrived at their stadium for today's game, and the home team players made a good impression. Referees: James Capers, number 19, Mark Davis, number 8, Ben Taylor, number 46, and Ed Malloy, number 14, are the referees assigned to the game between the Golden State Warriors and Houston Rockets in the 2025-2026 NBA regular season at the Chase Center. The season continues. Follow the NBA championship, and the group stage is in full swing as teams look to fine-tune their chemistry to achieve their goals. This time, we have a matchup between the Golden State Warriors and the Houston Rockets, two teams that have recently undergone a period of transformation and are now aiming to become playoff contenders. Here are the Rockets. The Houston team is already in the vicinity of the Chase Center for today's game. The visiting players look confident. Rockets lineup. These are the Houston Rockets starting players for today's game. 1Q 158. A 4-0 run by the Rockets has brought them closer to the game, but Indiana's good rotation has helped them keep the deficit low. Golden State starters are resting, which could make things more difficult for them. 1Q 442. They're playing with everything from long range, Stephen Curry and Jimmy Butler sinking big baskets to keep the lead at 9 points. Houston offered little after halftime, with San Francisco's defense holding firm and preventing any scoring opportunities. 1Q 613. Consecutive baskets by the Warriors extend their lead to 7 points. A second timeout is called, this time for the Rockets, who must avoid falling too far behind. The game is getting tight on the court. 1Q 825. A 5-2 run by the Warriors forces a timeout. Complete domination by the home team who dictate the pace and are looking to win early. Houston is surprised and will look to adjust to get back into the game. 1Q 10-11. A great start for the home team. They're playing better and starting to pull away from their opponent. It's a hard-fought game on the court. We have a very active start to the match on both ends of the court at the Chase Center. Stadium, 1Q 12 o'clock. The NBA Cup Group Stage game between the Houston Rockets and the Golden State Warriors is underway at the Chase Center. Follow all the action of this great matchup here on Vavel. It's going to be a great game today. About to begin. We are just minutes away from the start of the game presentation, the player's entrance, and the NBA's pre-game protocols for this group stage game between the Golden State Warriors and the Houston Rockets at the Chase Center. Everything's ready. The Chase Center is ready for the start of this game between the Houston Rockets and the Golden State Warriors. Both teams will be looking for a win to continue their NBA regular season on a high note. We're in for a great game on the court. Warriors lineup. These are the starting players for the Golden State Warriors in today's game. The Rockets picked up the pace and went on a 5-point run, extending their lead. Golden State's strong finish seems to have ended at the start of this new period. A significant difference could be coming. 2Q, 12 o'clock. The second quarter begins with the home team leading by 3 points. The score is Houston Rockets 22-25 Golden State Warriors in the 2025 NBA regular season. The best moments of the game are yet to come at the Chase Center. Warriors timeout. 2 consecutive three-pointers from Stephen Curry by the home team increase the lead to 4 points, and the visitors call a timeout. Time for Houston to readjust if they don't want the gap to widen further. 2Q, 7-11. The Warriors are on a 4-0 run, the deficit is starting to disappear, and the visitors have to slow things down. Houston's play in the paint isn't very effective, making it difficult for them to get into the game, and they're falling further and further behind. 2Q, 9:56. Golden State is holding firm, avoiding danger and maintaining their lead. Houston is unable to convert their offensive drives, and the gap remains at several possessions in points as time runs out in the period. 2Q, 3:36. Great control on the court. The Rockets are still on a roll and maintain their 2-point lead going into halftime. The Warriors called another timeout to try and get back on track before going into the break. 2Q, 5:232Q. 1:473Q, 134. The 5-point lead returns to the court. The visitors' rotations haven't worked, and they're starting to concede points. The Warriors are applying intense pressure to prevent a tie and secure the win. 3Q, 3:09. Despite the Warriors' constant attempts to pull away, the home team maintains its lead and continues to control the pace of the game. Amen Thompson has been somewhat absent, and Houston needs him to be involved. 3Q, 5:17. Houston closes the gap and forces a second timeout, again called by their opponent. The Rockets apply intense pressure, getting closer and closer to tying the game, with Reed Sheppard leading the team with 15 points. 2Q, 7:39. Golden State takes control of the pace and starts closing the gap on the court. The visitors play better after halftime and force their opponent to call a timeout to avoid falling too far behind. A great return to the court and an 11-point lead. 3Q, 9:52. Golden State maintains control, and the Rockets are falling further and further behind. The game could end early and by a significant margin. The home team is making adjustments to maintain their lead. 3Q, 12 o'clock. The third quarter begins with the home team leading by 5 points. The score is Houston Rockets 43-48 Golden State Warriors in the 2025 NBA regular season. The best moments of the game are yet to come at the Chase Center. Police car light, end of the game. The game is over. Thank you for joining us for the broadcast of the Houston Rockets 104-100 Golden State Warriors game in the 2025 NBA regular season at the Chase Center. We hope to see you on VAVL for more broadcasts. 4Q, 139. Both teams are pulling their starters, and it will all come down to the court. Houston is close to securing another win in the regular season to continue their preseason preparations. Golden State offered very little down the stretch and will likely leave with a loss. 4Q, 3:12. The Warriors have a one-possession lead and are back in the game, pushing for the win. It's anyone's game at the Chase Center. Houston calls a timeout. The game is slipping away from the Rockets, who are pausing to look for one last chance to tie things up. 4Q, 5:37. Houston maintains control, but Golden State keeps pressing to reduce the deficit. The visitors begin to extend their possessions to run down the clock and approach the final minutes of the period to determine the outcome of the game. 4-8-20. The Golden State team is starting to fade and the game is becoming more and more defined. The home team has done very little and never managed to secure the game, while Houston has dominated from start to finish in this quarter, moving closer to victory but failing to close out the result. 4-10-04. The Rockets are pressing hard, cutting the deficit to 3 points and relentlessly pursuing offensive drives that could put them within striking distance of victory. Time is running out, and the game is still up for grabs. The Warriors are having a slow restart. 4-12 The final quarter begins with the home team holding a 2-point lead. The score is Houston Rockets 74-76 Golden State Warriors in the 2025 NBA regular season at the Chase Center. It's time to decide the winner.